Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Joy to you, friends. In stanza 65 of chapter 2, Krishna says, with the attainment of soul bliss, every vestige of sorrow disappears. Bliss gives perfect discrimination and soon establishes one's consciousness firmly in the self. Now, what people look for is bliss, but what they find is happiness, or what they find is perhaps a little less pain. I think many people think of somebody who's been in prison for many years and he finally gets out. He feels so happy to be out. But when he gets out, he's got the same old prospect of finding a job and getting work, supporting himself. And all happiness is relative. You feel happy today, and the very nature of human emotions is such that you're bound to feel the opposite. If not tomorrow, then the next day or the next day. No matter what success you attain, you will find failure in the end. No matter what failure you have to suffer, you'll find success in the end. Life goes up and down. It's like a yo-yo. And the kind of happiness that we find through the senses, and this is the only kind of happiness people know, they may be happy for years, but in the end they have to lose it. Everything in this life is a compromise. This is why I turned away from the normal worldly life that my family was trying to hold out to me. I thought it's such a compromise with the kind of love that I want, with the kind of bliss that I want. What I'm seeking is something that can't change, something that is intense, something that I can feel consciously all the time. And happiness is, well, as Schultz in the Peanuts cartoon, he said, happiness is a warm puppy. Well, that's about it. Then you put the puppy down and you're having a little memory of that happiness, and then finally that's gone. The happiness in this world is such a compromise. It's just pathetic. So you marry, you get a good job, you rise in the job, you become president of the company maybe, you become wealthy, and then what have you got? So you've got a nice home and you've got a nice family, but there's nothing dynamic in any of it. Worldly happiness is a sort of a passive echo of your own inner happiness. And to the extent that you think that you're going to find happiness outside, to that extent you don't have that happiness inside, and so there's nothing to echo outside. That's why there are more suicides among millionaires and wealthy people than there are among poor people. Poor people at least have the hope that someday they may become wealthy. But once people achieve wealth, then they look around and think, what have I got? Some people would be satisfied with that for an incarnation, for incarnations. But you reach the point where after many incarnations, and believe me when I say many, I mean, well, let's not go into that one. But the thing is that you finally reach the point of thinking, it's not going to work. I'm not getting what I really wanted. I'm not happy all the time. If somebody asks you, are you happy, and you have to think, well, I'm not in the hospital, and my kidney seems to be behaving okay, and I've got enough food to eat, and I have a nice home. Yeah, I guess I'm happy. That's about the level of happiness that most people experience. But when you have bliss, you've got something that just sort of sings with you all the time. Wherever you go, you look at people and you feel that, oh, they're all looking for this, and you just want to shoot them with a little, zap them with a little touch of bliss. And everywhere you go, you see that everything makes you happy because it reminds you of your inner happiness. And when you see people who are unhappy, you long to make them happy. Bliss is something that is very expensive. It's not something you sort of crouch in a corner and huddle to yourself. It's something that you want to give to everybody. This is why Great masters want to come back to this world to help people to know. They're such children. They don't know where to turn to find what they're looking for. And they come to tell us, look, don't you see? There was one man that Master met. Master had come into the lobby of a hotel. I don't remember the city. It may have been Milwaukee or somewhere. Anyway, this drunkard saw him there in the lobby, and he came over and he said, hello there, Jesus Christ, and he hugged him. And in his drunkenness, I suppose he actually could feel something on a deeper level. They say, in vino veritas, in wine there's truth. And this may be true to a certain extent because you get rid of your inhibitions. Anyway, Master saw that he was drunk, and so he wanted the man to have a little touch of the joy, the bliss that he felt inside. So he gave him a touch of it. And the man said, hey, what are you drinking? And Master said, I can tell you this, it has a lot of kick in it. It's so much better than anything you can find through the senses. The senses are merely echoes of what you are inside. You must go beyond sensory enjoyment. You must try to feel that bubbling bliss in the universe that is everywhere. And you will find at that point there are times when this bliss is something so great you can hardly contain it. But it is there always, and when you're sleeping, you feel it. And when you wake up in bliss. Everything you do is, in a sense, not a cause of bliss, but a reminder of bliss. And so you can enjoy everything. Do you enjoy going to the dentist? In fact, yes, because it is something to help you to understand, to withdraw your mind from the tooth that is being drilled so painfully, and just don't think about it. And then you find that still you can remain blissful in yourself. And that reminder to go within is a cause for greater bliss. It's amazing how once you've learned the little secret that life is trying to teach us, how to be blissful all the time, that is the answer to the whole secret of life. You want to know how not only to get away from pain, that you get by withdrawing, but how to feel that bliss always. This is who you are, and this is who you must find in yourself. Joy to you.